Hi, welcome to my channel, Frugal Living. Today I'm going to share with you 10 books that are less than $20 to help you celebrate Black history with your kids. If you're interested in that, stay tuned. Thank you for joining me today as I share 10 books that are less than $20 to help you tell about Black history to your kids. This is an awesome resource that you can use. Number 1, Ruby Bridges. This book is actually by Ruby Bridges, and just in case you don't know anything about her, she was a first grader who helped integrate schools. I just wanted to give you a little synopsis about the book. You'll have to read to find out a little bit more about her, but she gives her first person account as a first grader integrating schools. She has spoken for years. She is also still living. She's in her 60s now. So it's amazing that this happened not too long ago. This book only costs $3.99. This is great for ages 5 to 8. I taught last year second and third graders, and we discussed this book and talked about Ruby Bridges, and they really related to her story. Number 2, Dream Big Little Ones by Vashti Harrison. Vashti Harrison. This is a great book because it's a board book, and it gives a synopsis of different women in Black history. I really love this because there's not a whole lot of Black history books that are board books for younger children. And this is great for if you have a preschooler, even a toddler could be interested in a book like this. The cost of this is only $7.99, and all these costs are from Amazon. So they're really easy to get and convenient. $7.99 on Amazon. I also was able to check this. Both of those books were able to be checked out at the local library. So if you don't want to pay, you can do it that way too. Number 3, Rosa Parks. My Story by Rosa Parks. I love this because this is a first person account from Rosa Parks. She's able to share her story, and she dispels a lot of myths that have been going around about her being tired and her feet hurting and all those type of things. She tells her story, and it's wonderful. It's really relatable to children. It's great for ages about 6 to 8, and the cost of that is only $7.99. Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. This was one of my favorite books growing up. I read it countless times. It's by Mildred D. Taylor. This is a trilogy of books. A little synopsis of this story is Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry is about a family who is in the Deep South. They're struggling through segregation and different things that happen, even the bombing of churches and things like that. And they go through. It's historical fiction, so it's the family struggle through segregation and the different things that happen to them throughout those times. It's great for ages 10 to 13. I tried to make this list a mixture of ages, so if you have kids younger or older, they can all you can find a book here for them. Number 5, The Narrative of Frederick Douglass. I read this in high school, so I would say this is for an older age child. This is, again, a first-person account by Frederick Douglass. He is telling his story from slavery, and it's a wonderful account. The cost of this is only $9.95 on Amazon, so you'll want to get that if you have an older child. Obviously, you wouldn't read this with a preschooler, but it's a heavy read, so it would be something for an older child. Number 6. Hair Love by Matthew Cherry. A lot of people have even seen this on YouTube, and I remember seeing the video and just literally crying. But this is also in a book form, so you can see the video, I'll try to link that in the description, or you can also get the book. A wonderful book about a father's and his love for his child, and also his struggle about doing her hair. I'll leave it at that. This is for ages 4 to 8. Number 7, Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry. This is a great play. It was done by Sidney Poitier and Ruby Dee back in the late 50s, and it was also put into a movie. This is a story, a play about a family that is struggling to kind of figure things out in the inner city Chicago. They come into money. I'm not going to tell you how. You got to read it just in case you haven't read it yet. And it's kind of their struggle about what to do with it. And there's the generational battles going on between the older generation and the younger. Number 8, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I have actually personally never read this book. I have to say that. And I haven't seen the movie. However, I have a 16-year-old and she really highly recommended the book. She also read another book by Angie Thomas as well because she loved this one so much. This general synopsis from what I've read and what she's told me is this is a story of a young girl who's kind of stuck in between two worlds, from the inner city that she's been being raised in, and she's being bused across town in a suburban area to go to school. There's a murder by one of her close friends, and she is the only one who's kind of seeing what's going on, and she kind of is battling through that. So this is for older children. I would definitely say high school, so I'd say 14 to 16, maybe even 13, can enjoy a book like this. Number 9, ABCs of Black History. Now, this book is really great for 5 to 8-year-olds, but honestly, my toddler, preschooler really enjoyed this book. This is by Rio Cortez. She weaves the Black history story into ABC. She talks about Malcolm X. She talks about marches. She talks about fighting for our rights and things like that. Even Kwanzaa in the book. And my 3-year-old was really captivated by this book. She's a little bit younger than the general age for it, but if you have a younger child, try it out. If they have a attention span that they might enjoy it, it would be a great book for them as well. Number 10, I actually have this one. There's all these books behind me, and I noticed that this one that I was talking about was actually here. My mom purchased this for my daughter years ago, and this number 10 is You Can Do It by Tony Dungy. I hope I said that right. Yeah, Dungy. He is a pro football player. He wrote a book about his brother and how his brother felt like maybe he couldn't do anything or be anything, and he wasn't sure what his goals were in life. And he had a dream, and because of the beliefs in his parents and his family, he was able to accomplish that dream. I'll leave it at that. This is $18.99. It's offered only in hardback. On hardcover. I didn't see it in paperback. So most of the books that I listed here are about $10. There's a few that are closer to the $20 range. But I hope you enjoyed these book choices and selections I gave you as we celebrate Black History and close out this month. Follow me on Instagram at Francesca_Ariolaoo. I'm very active there. Last but never least, happy savings!